Welcome back to Beginner Coding Journey, where I would like to welcome you to a brand new series called Dev Den. This series is just meant for me to show you guys what I'm doing for my grade 10 project. Just a brief overview before we start. The project I'm doing is using Python to create an app about productivity where I'm planning to add features like flashcards, to-do lists, and a lot more in there. So our main goal today is to make the flashcard app that we did a while ago a lot better. So today, I'm not going to be typing out and wasting your time. I'll have the code completed and I'll explain line by line, as well as adding some stuff into it from time to time. As always, I'll leave the file down below in the description. Without further ado, let's get started. So first of all is that we're not going to be using it anymore inside the file. And the next thing that you will find different is this new function called rename function. So this rename function is for you to be able to rename your own folders. So first of all, we print out all the folders, then input the folder you want to rename, then input the new name of the folder. Alright, and then os.rename is a part of the OS module where it will rename your current folder with the new name you gave it. So here it's just to tell them that, oh, we have renamed this folder into this folder. So before we go on, if you have any cool ideas such as new styles of video that you want me to create, please just comment down below, as I'm always willing to learn more and create more videos that suit you best. Alright, back to the video. So this is what we had last time, review flashcards, and it ends around here. But the new one contains a lot more. Here is the newer version. So target file, still the same, equals to file name.json because we need to turn it into a JSON file. Then we're going to create two variables which you haven't seen before, is correct answer and wrong answer. So correct answer and wrong answer is to collect the amount that you got wrong and right when we actually do like the test over here. But let's continue first. So the next is final file path. Final file path, this is just a final path where we will be accessing the file. So folder path, folder name, and target file. Next, we're gonna check and load the file if os.path exists. So if this path exists, then we're gonna open that path as a read file and load it into a variable called loaded data. So if loaded data is yes, then we're gonna print flashcard loaded successfully. So for question answer in loaded data.items, this is to print out question and answers. Alright, so we're gonna print question while true, user answer will input the answer. So if user answer equals to correct, we're gonna print correct, and the correct answer variable will +1. If user answer is wrong, it will says wrong, correct answer is this, and wrong answer +1. Which will be adding to over here. Alright, next, if we finished it, like we went through all of them, it's just gonna say review complete. You got how many correct answer out of the length of the loaded data. If there's nothing inside the file, it's just say file is empty. But if there's no specific file, then it's just gonna say file not found. Next, in the newer version, there's nothing called add flashcards anymore. However, there's a thing called edit flashcards. Edit flashcards is just for you to input the folder and input the file, and then you can add more stuff into it or delete stuff, which we will get into a bit later. So here, it's still the same. Target file just to convert it into a JSON file, and data to keep new dictionaries. And final file path, right, equals to os.path.join. So final file path is literally just the same as the one above here for the review flashcards. Alright, so we're gonna say if the path exists, just gonna open it as a read file and load into data, and we're gonna print existing flashcard loaded from target file. Alright, now here comes the fun part. The question is to let the user input the question, which also has the answer over here, which they will have to input again, but we're not get to there yet. So the new things that we have added is the delete command. I'm going to show you a bit later, but now let's get to if they type in done, right? The QNN is just question number, which I use to, print out like this. So let's go step by step. So first is open final file path as an edit file, then json.dump data file indent4 to make it look pretty, and we're going to print flashcard save to target file as we're done. Print edit complete, print here is the updated list of flashcards. And now for question So since this is saying here's the updated list of flashcards, we're gonna print out all the flashcards. We're gonna say for question answer in data.items, print question number, colon, question answer. Alright, so this is saying question 1, the question and the answer. And then question number will increase by 1 every time. And when it's done, it's hit break. And now when the user wants to delete a certain key from the flashcards, we still have the Q and N. It's where we will be joining the folders, just like the final file path over here, but instead we plus the .json over here too. Instead of having target file, we have just a file name and then plus .json over here. Now we're gonna print here are the available flashcards, and then we're gonna open it, load it. For question answer in data items, we're gonna print this all out. So here are the available flashcards, we're gonna print it out, boom, like that. Alright, and then number is the number we want to delete. So an example, if we have 5 flashcards and we want to delete number 3, we'll have to type out 3 so that we can delete flashcard number 3. So if the number is more than or equals to 1, while also less than or equals to the length of the data, this is to check if the number inputted is valid because it needs to be within the range of the length of the data. So delete data is to delete a specific key value pair over here, and now we're gonna say flashcard number deleted successfully. Alright, and now we're gonna open the file as an edit file, and then we're gonna do json.dump to save it, and indent 4 just to make it look pretty as usual. And now we're gonna print flashcard save to target file. Then we're gonna print edit complete, print here's the updated list of the flashcards. And now we're gonna print it all again, just like so, and I'll break. But invalid task number, this is where the user input something like 0, or if the length of the data is 5 and then they inputted 7, then it will be invalid task number, please try again. And question.lower equals to done or delete, whatever, right? If it's not any of those, it's gonna say enter the answer. So this is saying that the user have entered the question and they will input the answer next. Alright, so last time we just jumped right into the app logic, which we do not want to do this time. What we've also added is add folder and file. This is where you can add folders and file. So command input, do you want to create a new folder? If the answer equals to yes, then we're going to enter the name of the folder, enter the name of your flashcard file, ff path. So I use this as like folder file path. It's to join the folder path and a new folder name. And os.makedirs, this is where they create new directories. So ff path, this is a not optional thing, but exists okay equals true is an optional. So exists okay equals to true means that even if the directory already exists inside that folder, it's gonna still create the folder with the same name. And if it's a false and the name repeats, you'll probably get something like file exists error. Alright, now we're gonna join these new file names and folder names into the folder path and make it a edit file. Alright, now I'm going to save it. The object is going to be a dictionary into the file, and I'm going to print folder name. Then we're going to print folder created successfully and file.json created successfully. However, if the user says N or no, then we're going to say okay, no folder will be created, and literally the same thing just happens without the folder. Alright, so we're going to say folder, we're going to let them input the folder they want to and create a new file. So we're going to join the folder, then we're going to join the folder path, the folder, and the file together as an edit file. Then we're going to save it as a dictionary and file created successfully, unless it's an invalid input. Alright. Now, even the flashcard app, the application logic has changed. So this is what it looks like now. So it's still the same, action equals to input, like what do you want to do, review, rename, add, edit, or exit. So it's not like last time where we only had review, add, or exit, right? But now this time we added rename and edit feature. So if action equals to review, still quite the same, but not exactly the same. So folder name equals to input, enter the name of the folder. So we'll enter the name of our folder that we want to add into. Then we're going to print available flashcard files. It's literally going to print out all the file names, and file name equals to input, enter the name of the flashcard file you want to review. And it's going to run the review flashcard function. Alright, so rename and add, it's just the same and it's very simple. It's just run the function. All right, I'm not gonna go into much of that. And now edit. Here comes the fun part. Q&N still over here because it's the same thing as this one. So we're gonna input the name of the folder, input the name of your flashcard file, and then we're gonna create a path, and then we're gonna list out the things inside, join the files together, load the file, print, and then run the function. Alright, now exit is just exiting the flashcard, goodbye, and a break. And thus it's an invalid input, which you have to re-enter, which will happen for sure. So that's it, guys. If you guys have any other cool ideas that you think I should be doing, comment down below. See you later, guys.